여러분 반갑습니다. I'm Kwon So-hwa and this is K-Culture Dive. Join us in exploring everything in Korean culture, from K-entertainment to AI news, K-culture on site. And today's K-Correspondent joins us from the Philippines. So without further ado, let's dive in. Joining us for today's show is Bella Kim. Hello, Bella.
Hi, Soa, and hello to everyone joining us today on K-Culture Dive. I'm Bella Kim here to co-host and fill you guys all in with some exciting K-entertainment stories.
Bella, before we start, have you noticed the global interest in Korea's traditional attire Hanbok has been growing these days?
Oh, yes, of course. And I see a lot of foreigners wearing hanbok, especially in Gyeongbokgung Palace.
Yes, I've noticed that as well. Well, we do have a Hanbok theme going on today's show. So first, let's check with our reporter, Hae-young. So traditional Korean clothing known as Hanbok is one of the most recognizable symbols of K-culture. But have you ever wondered what goes into making a single hanbok? Our reporter Yoon Se-young takes us to the 2026 Hanbok Expo, where visitors can discover the people, skills, and stories behind the fashion. So let's connect to where Se-young is standing by in a beautiful hanbok today. Hello, Se-young.
Hi, Soa. How do I look today? How do you like my hanbok? Well, when you see a beautiful hanbok like this, you will probably notice the color, the silhouette, and the beautiful, elegant details. But have you ever wondered how hanbok comes to life? Today, I'm here at Hanbok Expo, 2026 Hanbok Expo, and this year's theme is the market where the hanbok are made. And today, I'm going to take a closer look at what steps it takes to make the beautiful hanbok like this and how this traditional clothing continues to evolve until today. So I'm at a special zone of this year, and this special zone recreates Gwangjang Market, Hanbok section of Gwangjang Market, one of the most historic centers of Korea's hanbok industry. So over 120 years, fabrics and sewing and all the detailed specialized crafts have come together there, supporting the generations of hanbok makers and merchants as well. And the visitors will be able to get a glimpse into that world. Finished hanbok doesn't appear like in a second. It requires a delicate process. Fabrics have to be chosen and prepared, and all the pieces have to be sewn, and all the details have to be added by skilled hands. So before it reaches to a person who is going to wear it, it requires a lot of process, and I guess that those people are part of the story behind every hanbok. And it's not just about how hanbok are made, it's also about hanbok is being reimagined today. This year, over 150 hanbok-related businesses are taking part, showcasing from traditional hanbok to more contemporary interpretations. So the visitors will have a lot of choices. Some designs stick more to traditions, while others are making it feel more like a contemporary that you could wear in your everyday life. So the visitors will have a lot of choices here, and today I'm going to invite one of the visitors and talk about this event today. Hello.
Hello. I'm Michael, and I'm here visiting with some friends, and the first time I ever wore hanbok was back in May over at Buddha's birthday, where I also took part with my friend who has a hanbok shop. And I think it's really wonderful to be able to see all the different types of hanbok as well as the modern imaginings, as you said. And I think my personal favorite experience was meeting with the owner of Oh My Gosh, which is a name I had seen, but he had really wonderful charisma and he taught me how to do it correctly. So I'm really thankful to be able to take part in this experience.
Yeah, like you said, it does just stay in the past. It broadens our idea of how hanbok can be. And what has been then the most interesting part of this event so far?
I have to admit, going on TV is probably the most interesting, but if we don't count that, I would definitely say Oh My God, just because it's a combination of the individual salesmanship, because he also has a wonderfully large fan, which I also would like to get in the future as well. But I think also being able to see in this particular section, you have more of the royal hanbok, which I also find very fascinating as well. So I've loved everything that I've seen so far today.
Like you look great. You look like one of those sunbeams back in Joseon Dynasty. So enjoy and have a great time.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, so it's not just the hanbok makers who shape the story of hanbok. I believe it's the people who choose it, wear it, and make it their own. Here, they can actually choose different fabrics, colors by themselves, and there are a lot of choices. So it's going to be really hard to choose only one, but you can also add specialized crafts to your own hanbok, make it really personal. And I really want to try one too. And this place is just crowded. It's so popular. I saw hundreds of people lining in even before the event kicks off. So you should check it out. And I guess every hanbok soa has its own story. And here at the expo, those stories continue to unfold. Reporting live from 2026 Hanbok Expo at Dongdaemun Design Plaza, I'm Yoon Se-young, and back to you, Soa.
Thank you very much for that reporting, Se-young. You look like a protagonist out of a K-사극 drama, a historic Korean drama. Thank you very much. And stay tuned for more related to hanbok later in the show, where we connect abroad on the topic. But first, time for our daily dose of K-Inter News with Bella Kim. So Bella, let's kick off with BTS and an unprecedented achievement made in Japan.
Yes, BTS have achieved another historic milestone in Japan. The group's fifth full-length album, Arirang, has surpassed 1 million cumulative points on Oricon's combined album ranking. The chart combines physical album sales, digital downloads, and streaming numbers into a single point score. With this achievement, BTS now have 3 albums that have surpassed the 1 million point mark on Oricon, making them the first overseas artist to reach the milestone. Along with BTS, only 2 Japanese artists, Snowman and Mrs. Green Apple, have achieved the feat. BTS have also been making waves on the Billboard charts and other global music charts since their comeback, further highlighting their status as a global group.
Of course. And speaking about K-pop successes in Japan, we've got another boy group that's doing great in Japan.
And we're talking about TWS. They have set a new personal record in Japan with their latest release. The group's second Japanese single, Soda Soda, sold more than 225,000 copies in its first week, marking the group's highest ever first week sales in Japan. The new single also ranked second on both the Oricon Weekly Singles Chart and the Billboard Japan Top Single Sales charts. The group's previous best-selling release in Japan was their 5th mini-album, No Tragedy, which topped both Oricon's weekly album charts and weekly combined album charts. Having proven their popularity in Japan, TWS will take the stage at Summer Sonic 2026, one of Japan's biggest music festivals, this Friday and Sunday.
That's going to be some hot summer action on that stage. And last but not least, let's talk about a girl group.
We're talking about one of the hottest, or should I say the prettiest, K-pop girl groups these days. 리센느, they headed to Los Angeles to perform at this year's K-Con, marking another exciting step in their career. The group are riding high on the success of their latest release, Pretty Girl, which has been climbing music charts in Korea and has earned the group 3 music show trophies. As we discussed on our show several times, 리센느's original content and short-form videos have gained tremendous attention online. And with their growing popularity, searches for 리센느 on Melon, one of Korea's biggest music platforms, jumped by more than 6,500%. That surge in interest has even brought renewed popularity to their 2021 song, Love Attack, which is still topping Melon's Hot 100 charts. With their amazing achievements here in Korea, 리센느 are now taking the momentum overseas to perform at the K-Con LA 2026 concerts this Sunday.
Wishing the best for the LA performance. And Bella, thank you for those updates.
Yes, I'll stick around.
All right, now it is time to go over to our AI anchor Arirang for more on the culture front. Arirang.
Thanks, Soa. Here's your AI guide to the latest cultural headlines from Korea. Let's begin with our top story. Culture Minister Choi Hyung says the government will strengthen cultural infrastructure to support young artists. Speaking at a meeting with young cultural and arts professionals on Wednesday, Choi pledged to better reflect their voices in policy making. Artists from fields including visual arts, music, film, and webtoons shared challenges they face in the field and called for greater policy support. Choi promised to expand career development programs, provide more opportunities for performances and exhibitions, and boost support for overseas activities. The Korea Tourism Organization is showcasing 20 historical destinations across the country ahead of the 81st anniversary of Korea's National Liberation Day on Saturday. The special feature on the Visit Korea travel platform groups the sites into 4 themes, tracing Korea's history from Japan's annexation in 1910 to liberation in 1945. Featured destinations include the National Memorial of the Korean Provisional Government and Seodaemun Prison History Hall in Seoul, as well as Independence Hall of Korea in Cheonan, Chungcheongnam-do Province. The tourism agency says the destinations offer visitors a chance to reflect on the meaning of liberation and explore key sites from Korea's modern history. A modest increase in the number of tourists visiting Jeju is expected during this year's Liberation Day holiday. The Jeju Tourism Association estimates 232,000 visitors will arrive by air or sea over 5 days through next Monday, up 3.4% from last year. Domestic flight arrivals are expected to dip about 0.2% from a year earlier, while international flights are projected to increase by around 16%. In addition, 5 cruise ships carrying a total of 13,900 passengers are scheduled to arrive in Jeju during the holiday period. That's all from me. Turning now to a quick look at more K-culture stories making headlines today.
So as promised before, our Hanbok theme goes on. Hanbok is gaining attention not only as Korea's traditional attire, but also as a form of art and cultural content. Hanbok Reborn as Art is an exhibition running in the Philippines that introduces the Korean aesthetic and traditional culture embodied in Hanbok through contemporary art. Today, we're connecting with Kim Joo-hyun, Event and PR Officer at the Korean Cultural Center in the Philippines, to learn more about the exhibition. Hello, Joo-hyun. Welcome.
Hi, Jian.
Hi, Soa. Hi, Bella.
Thank you for joining us on the show today. And let's start with an introduction of Hanbok Reborn as Art. I hear that this exhibition is different from the ordinary Hanbok exhibitions that we would think of.
Yes, that's correct. So to give you a brief introduction about Hanbok Reborn as Art, this exhibition is not simply an exhibition about Hanbok as traditional clothing. So it explores the beauty and cultural meaning of Hanbok through the language of contemporary art. So rather than displaying actual Hanbok garments, which we would usually think of, the exhibition reinterprets elements such as Hanbok's colors, patterns, materials, and silhouettes through paintings, installation, and media art. So for example, traditional colors such as 색동과 오방색 are expressed through contemporary artworks in the exhibition, while materials traditionally used in Hanbok, such as silk, have inspired installation pieces. So for visitors, they can see Hanbok not just as something we wear, but as a source of Korean aesthetics and culture that can continue to be reinterpreted through art today.
Wow, sounds like a definitely interesting exhibition there. So what inspired you to organize the exhibition? And also, could you please tell us what's behind the title Hanbok Reborn as Art?
Well, this exhibition was organized by the Savina Museum of Contemporary Art. It began in Seoul in 2023 and has since traveled to Kazakhstan, Nigeria, and China before coming to the Philippines this year. It will also continue to Malaysia later this year, actually. So for the Korean Cultural Center in the Philippines, we found this exhibition especially meaningful because it introduces Hanbok, one of Korea's most representative traditions, through contemporary art. So actually, many Filipinos are already familiar with the Korean culture through K-pop and K-dramas. So we really hope that this exhibition can naturally expand that interest toward traditional Korean culture as well. So that's why we've created the name, or we've stick with the name Hanbok Reborn as art.
And looking at the pictures right now, I think it's really beautiful seeing how the visitors in Hanbok are looking at the art pieces. That
Right.
itself looks like an art piece as well, like a very artistic scene. But Juyeon, what aspects of Hanbok have felt most new or striking to Filipino visitors? Are there maybe any particular colors, shapes, or patterns that have caught their attention? And when comparing Hanbok with traditional Filipino clothing, are there any similarities or differences that visitors find particularly interesting?
I think the colors and silhouettes of hanbok are particularly striking for Filipino visitors. And there are actually some interesting similarities with traditional Filipino clothing and the hanbok as well. So for example, in the Barong Tagalog, or the Filipino traditional clothing, delicate materials, embroidery, and patterns are also used to express a distinct Filipino aesthetic. Hanbok, on the other hand, also creates its own sense of beauty through its colors, such as I mentioned 색동과 오방색, as well as its distinctive lines and silhouettes. So although Korean and Filipino traditional clothing are quite different in appearance, both use elements like color, material, and patterns to express the cultural identity. So I think it's very interesting that visitors can both discover the similarities and differences and see hanbok from a new perspective, while, as what you've mentioned, Ms. Soa, is that they can also try the hanbok themselves.
Wow. And out of the artworks, so which artworks or parts of the exhibition have attracted the most attention from local visitors there? And also, are there any particular or memorable reactions or episodes that you'd like to share with us?
You might have been able to see it through the video a while ago, but one of the artworks that received a particularly memorable reaction was the artwork by artist Lee Jung-geun. So from a distance, it looks like a regular pattern, but when you get closer, you can discover details inspired by traditional dance, costumes, and movements. So a fun thing is one of the visitors actually told us that what they found most interesting was how the different artworks looked different from a distance compared to when they viewed it up close. And another popular work was a lenticular piece by Lee Don-ah, where the image changes depending on your viewing angle. So visitors often move around in front of it to see the image transform. So that was actually a very interesting to see. So these reactions show that visitors are not only enjoying the theme of hanbok, but also enjoying the unique and playful artistic approach of each work.
Right. I think one piece that we just saw was very intriguing because once you got close, you actually could see small people wearing hanbok, and from far, it looks like a nice pattern. But Juyeon, we understand the exhibition also offers interactive programs, including Hanbok Friday, where visitors can wear hanbok while exploring the exhibition, as well as traditional 복주머니, so pouch making activities. So how have Filipino visitors responded to these hands-on experiences?
Yeah, that's right. So Filipino visitors have responded very positively to these hands-on programs. And like you mentioned, Hanbok Fridays in particular sometimes attracts more visitors than usual. So there is already a lot of interest in the Philippines in actually trying on hanbok. So combining that with the experience of wearing the hanbok himself here in the exhibition, it creates an even stronger synergy or connection. On the other hand, the 복주머니 pouch making activity is also popular because visitors can make something themselves that is connected to the exhibition as well. Of course, it takes a little time and effort, but there is a sense of accomplishment when they finish. And I always see they bring their happy smiles together with their new 복주머니s. And they can create this memory together with the exhibition once they visit the KCC here in the Philippines.
Right.
Wow.
And also because pok means good luck.
Of course.
So I guess they're going to bring some good luck from that exhibition to keep with them in their daily lives.
Of course. And also speaking with you, I can already feel that people there are in love with traditional Korean culture. So based on your experience in the Philippines, why do you think Filipino audiences are so interested in traditional Korean culture?
Well, the Philippines, like what you mentioned, Bella, has a very high level of interest and familiarity with Korean culture. According to the 2026 Global Hallyu Survey, the Philippines ranked first among the countries surveyed in several key areas, including favorability toward Hallyu, its popularity, and willingness to recommend it. So many Filipinos first encounter Korean culture through K-pop or K-dramas, but as their interest grows, they naturally become curious about the traditions and everyday culture behind what they enjoy. So that's why I think interest in traditional Korean culture, including Hanbok, Korean food, and traditional music, is continuously growing. So Hallyu in the Philippines is no longer just about enjoying Korean content, but it is also becoming an interest in understanding the culture and the traditions behind that content.
I can also imagine that, especially recently after the hit series K-pop Demon Hunters,
yes.
after foreigners watched that one, they got more interested into wearing traditional hanbok, especially with the Saja boys and their kat, the
Right.
traditional Korean hats as well. But Juyeon, for those who haven't visited the exhibition yet, if you could give them just one reason or maybe one or two to check out Hanbok Reborn as art, what would it be?
If I had to give just one reason, I would say it's because you can see how Korean tradition is being reinterpreted through a contemporary perspective. So this exhibition shows that Hanbok is not simply a tradition that belongs to the past. It can continue to meet contemporary art and take on new forms. So everyone, if you haven't visited yet, I hope you'll come and experience for yourself how Korean tradition can be reborn as art today. And I think that's the most special thing about this exhibition.
And just finally, before we let you go, Juyeon, so until when can we enjoy the exhibition? I think it's until fall, right?
Yes, that's correct. So you can enjoy the exhibition until September 26th. We're open from Mondays to Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Philippine Standard Time.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Juyeon, for connecting with us today. And we hope that many more visitors in the Philippines fall in love with Korea's traditional hanbok art and also other aspects of Korean culture. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And thank you, Bella, as always. So we're going to have you back here soon.
Yes, I'll see you soon.
Thanks for watching and your interest in everything K-culture. Please tune in again tomorrow, 2 p.m. Korea time. Keep diving. Time to set the facts straight. Get Korea right. K-culture is sweeping the globe. K-pop, K-drama, K-movie, K-food, and even K-beauty. Korean cultural content is gaining more and more fans worldwide. It's indeed the golden age of K-culture. But with this growing interest comes an increase in misinformation about Korea. There's so much inaccurate information out there. Even AI can sometimes get it wrong. So, we must set things straight and correct all the misinformation. So here's the plan. The Voluntary Agency Network of Korea, VANK, and Arirang TV present the Get Korea Right project. Our goal is to provide accurate information on important keywords that come to mind when we think of Korea. Blatant errors and false claims that distort history. It's time to set the record straight. sharing the true history and culture of Korea while raising the national brand. Let's get started with Get Korea Right. Are you ready to join?